Peace, 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 family. How you all doing? I hope all is well with you. My name is Keisha. I'm the owner of Ascendant Astrology, and I am your astrology coach. Today, I am going to be doing the Gemini new moon. Thoughts become things. That's the phrase that kept coming up while I was doing my research for this live. So be careful what you're thinking at this time. All right. So the Gemini new moon happening on, hold on, guys. All right. The Gemini new moon happening on the 18th or the 17th. I think I'm going to post this on IG on the 17th, but it really depends on what time zone you're in. So it will be the 18th for Eastern Standard time. So I have to say that for all the people who are also Eastern Standard Time, but it's one of those things where it's happening so late at night and it's gonna happen so early in the morning that we're all gonna be asleep. I mean, for those people who are asleep at that hour. So but I feel like it really doesn't matter what day you post it, but I'm sure somebody will have something to say. So just to clarify, okay? But new moons represent new beginnings, which will be initiating something in your Gemini area of life. Gemini rules communication, choices, options, changing your mind between different things or different choices and options, and feeling torn between one or more things, people, places, and things. Um, this is also what you read, what you take in, and what you think about. Gemini is curious. It asks questions and gathers information. It also rules short distance travel, daily errands, daily schedule, your local environment, like your community and your neighbors. It's also your siblings, aunts, uncles, nieces, nephews, cousins, um, as well as devices, social media, connecting, documents, emails, text messages, any form of communication. It rules all forms of communication. Um, Gemini rules duality. So this can be a time of learning something and studying it later and applying it later. Um, like a vocational school or a trade school, more vocation than trade, but it's all Gemini ruled. It's about hands-on learning, being self-made or self-taught. But essentially, when you think about vocational schools, it's one week is the education piece, the next week is the hands-on learning and the actual trade, right? That's your left brain, right brain operation. That's why it's ruled by Gemini. It's the duality of something, and like putting those two together, like the twins, the male and the female energy, right? And so anything that kind of represents that in life, it's all those things are all kind of ruled by Gemini. Um, it's also childhood education, and how children learn, which is through observation. So being able to listen and not speak, right? To observe your environment, to understand what's going on. It's just another form or way to learn or collect information. Um, and again, the ability to then act it out, right? Isn't that what kids do? They'll watch their mom and dad and everybody else in the family, and then you'll one day see them just get up and randomly do something you did like a week or two ago. That's just how they learn, right? So this is Gemini energy, even as adults. even somewhere in your life, this is going to teach you your learning style. Are you audio, video, textile, or I'm pretty sure there's one more, but you can look those things up to see what they are. But this tells you what your learning style is. It's important to know that information because this can help you understand why you don't understand certain things or why it's hard for you to make certain decisions. Maybe because you're not hearing it correctly or learning it correctly. This is also the teacher-student aspect and how we switch between the two. So again, it still comes back to learning one week and then trying it hands-on. Another way to look at this is like, you know how when you're doing a project and you're first starting something up and then you put the prototype out there. And then if that works or if it doesn't work, you're just collecting data to see how something is ran or functions. This is it. Gemini energy. That's why a lot of the times, like Aquarius energy, which Uranus is the higher octave of Mercury, we think we're scientists because this is kind of what we oscillate between the physical and the mental realm often, right? And so being able to master those two is usually between understanding that you're trying something on, seeing how it fits. If it fits, is it working? You know, all that kind of stuff. It's really very mercurial and kind of even more Virgo than anything, but this definitely falls under the same lines of Gemini energy as well. And so just understanding that where that dynamic plays out in your life, well, you'll often do something just to try it on for size, and then maybe you decide at the end of that period that you're like, you know what, that didn't really sit well with me. I'm not going to do that. This goes with the food that you eat, trying new things, right? Because Geminis are very curious. Again, we're very curious George scientists. I like the idea of Pinky in the Brain, but you can call it whatever you want. Psycho. People might say psycho. It's okay. Especially if you're a Gemini moon, you're definitely a little. Um, but it is what it is. So just understanding though that anytime that dynamic is being played out in your life, that's your Gemini area of life. It can feel like there's a lot going on. There's a lot in motion. Gemini is also the messenger, so there could be some things you learned that you're now ready to again put into motion and do differently. Doing differently is going to be the big theme here, for a few different reasons, but mostly it's a new moon. That's the simplest response. And then we have Saturn, which is going to connect with that's in retrograde. So something about that Saturn energy that's affecting this new moon or aspecting this new moon is asking us to really, really, really go inward. Um, really, really think things through, use discernment before making decisions. Be okay with, trying things on and then, kind of dipping in and out of consciousness of your planning process. Um, whatever it is you got going on, whatever this is going to be bringing up for you in that area of your life, that's between Gemini and Pisces, by the way, which I'll talk more about in a minute. But um, Gemini is usually more so about movement and doing things, but because it's going to be connecting with Saturn and that Pisces energy, this is more so going to be a time to go within, go back, reflect, think things through before making a decision around your Gemini area of life. Um, so you might see things in a new way or what works, what doesn't work for you. This can also be about clearing up last minute things because it's at the last, I think it's at 27 degrees, but don't quote me on that. I really didn't check. But it's at the end of Gemini season, so typically that's an indication that it's at the later degree. And so anything you need to wrap up, get done, you can feel like there's a rush around those things, and checking in who you need to get back to. Again, finishing up and following up on things is going to be kind of a recurring theme, unfortunately, for the next few weeks with this Gemini energy. Um, Gemini can also be restless, scattered, running in circles, quite literally. The energy of Sagittarius and Gemini is an upward swirl. Okay. That is the movement of that energy. Um, which could be like, it's happy, it's upbeat, but it's like, "Whoa, what the fuck just happened? Like, can we just take a minute and breathe here? Things are going to be going really, 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 really fast. It could cause you to lose track of what's important. So the challenge might be to getting around, getting grounded enough to focus on what makes you truly happy, right? So we could have a lot of responsibilities with, especially with that Saturn and Pisces energy, around sitting still and thinking things through and not just acting. Like something can come up, like delays, limitations. That's like, where are you going? Because you could be off the run to go smell the flowers, and then there's going to be something that comes up that's like, but you got to take care of this first. You got to attend to this first before you can go have fun. And so wrapping things up again could be a really, really, really big theme, but it's also getting you to try something different, do something different, get outside of your comfort zone. Get messages, check in with your guides. And things of that nature, so that you can get to your true happiness, right? Saturn does rule time, and so there could be some element of time management being needed to get mastered in some way, somehow, or like doing things in incremental um, bits and pieces, like, and being comfortable with that. Like what the heck is the name of that book? If you've been following me for a while, I've mentioned this book quite a few times. It's called The 4 Hour Work Week. And you could imagine, like, first of all, that's not a real thing. But they have something like that, and you'd be surprised the little tips and tricks they give you in there, that's like how much time you waste. When you read that book, you're gonna be like, oh my God, I'm so unaccomplished. Because they have so many, like when I first read that book, I was like, oh my God, who would have ever freaking thought to do that? And so I'm not gonna say that I've mastered it, because that would be a lie. But I've definitely taken some bits and pieces that I was comfortable changing or making changes within my life. And so I operate like that because I eat like that. I eat in incremental pieces. And so I'm always snacking on something. And so those are my breaks, so I'll eat something in between that time I'm working. Even if it's 3 minutes, I'm being so dramatic, but just to give you an idea, like you'd be surprised what little things you can do if you dedicate 3 minutes to it, right? And then go back, do something else, 3 minutes. You know what I mean? Like it's amazing how much you can get done when you break things down, instead of like trying to get things done in bigger quantitative pieces. Okay, I'm using words that I don't even know what the heck I'm saying, so that's my cue to move the fuck on. So people might start writing, learning, studying, learning a new language, buying a car, going on a trip, or teaching. People will want to engage with like-minded people and have like-minded conversations. Very intellectual here. This is about networking, again, being curious about things. Being able to adapt and be flexible, being open-minded. Those are all very Gemini talents. Mental stimulation is going to be important as well, as brainstorming, problem solving, again, reading. I feel like I said that already, so if I did, I'm sorry. Doing like puzzles, um, word puzzles. I like solitaire, but anything that kind of makes your brain think. Gemini loves this shit. And multitasking. Now, I'd kind of like uh not do multitasking at this time with the Neptune square, because um it can kind of cloud your ability of what you're seeing, you know. So say if you're juggling all these balls and then, you know, your eye goes out or something, or you think you're seeing the juggling correctly, but no, it's just you know, just be careful with any decisions. Really take your time. Also, if you're not connecting and getting out there, you could be missing opportunities. So again, challenging yourself to do something that you wouldn't normally do. So if you're normally a person who doesn't talk to your neighbors and you just so happen to be leaving the house at the same time, do small talk. Gemini is small talk, to be quite literal. Hi, bye. How was your day? Holding doors open and the little things that are shared. What's the weather in the elevator? They call it your elevator pitch, your elevator music, your elevator conversations. These are all very Gemini things. Um, so short, you know, chit chat. And who knows, you know, who you're talking to. You do your little 5 second elevator pitch, and who knows, you might be talking to somebody who might be end up being something really big, right? So when in doubt, pitch your ideas, you know, say things that you think nobody's gonna care about. You just never know who's listening, right? um we have to open ourselves up to new ideas and new directions because it is the new moon and this is close to the summer solstice. And so technically, this is your new year, the real astrological new year horoscope for until this time next year. So keep that in mind, family. All right, so the new moon will square Neptune. This is confusion, lack of clarity. What do I focus on? What should I do? What should I think? And can and I can't speak. You might literally be lost for words. Neptune is your intuition and not using your brain. Try saying that fast 5 times. You might need to take a break or rest. It's transcendence, you know, like let go and let God. Trust the process, have faith, giving us another opportunity to see things differently in our daily world. This can be overthinking, anxiety, and the best way to kind of deal with those things, again, maybe doing something creative with Neptune, working on your creative projects where you kind of just are able to get lost in your mind and letting your mind be free. Some people will say meditate, and that's great, but of course, as a Gemini, I have to tell you that meditation is not for everybody, quite clearly, right? It's nothing now. But you know, there are multiple ways to meditate, right? And really what it is anything that allows your mind to be free. So this could be free writing, um, doing like a dump or a release of writing out things that you have to say or want to say, because sometimes it takes that to get past. So journaling, the blockages, you know, listening to music, going for a walk, you know, you know what it is for you because it's Neptune. This could be taking like bubble baths, any kind of beauty regimen you have before going to sleep. Technically with Neptune is what you prepare to do before you go to sleep. because that's just what Neptune rules, but it doesn't have to be. I think I'm gonna repost my Mars and Gemini post, even though this isn't Mars and Gemini, but this was a theme that came up the last full moon in Gemini when Mars was in Gemini. And it was the squares to Pisces again that challenged that entire transit. And I I think I went through all 12 signs. I don't think I just didn't say all 12 signs, but I went through all 12 houses and wrote down like what are some things you can do to help you. I think it's just going to be helpful. So I think I'm going to post that again if I freaking remember. But um, which by the way, you should definitely go back to that full moon video. It should be at the top of the page once you come into the YouTube channel. There's always a video playing. It'll always be the last 6 month video to the newer full moons. So you want to go back, listen to see what was happening for you. What are you wrapping up, ending, or what did you learn that you're now putting into action, right? Um, and please like, share, and subscribe, family. I know I don't say it often, but those likes do help. So I'd appreciate it if you could take 2 seconds to do so. Um, yeah. And so, yeah. So make sure you follow me on IG for that post. On the lower expression, this can be depression, deception, manipulation, dishonesty, lies, betrayal, things you don't see clearly, wearing rose-colored glasses, people not coming forward and communicating because they don't know what to say, they don't have an answer, stalling and dragging their feet. Once you surrender and go inward and meditate, new things will come to you and you'll make a different choice than what you was originally going to do. So stop and think before you do anything is going to be very, very important over the next 2 weeks. There can be a change of plans, a change of schedule. There can be issues around clarity, what you can achieve, what you can do, what do you have to say, what do you think, and what do you believe. Um, on a global level, Gemini rules television, commercials, radio, newspapers, which is now social media, by the way, and blog talks and blogs and journalists and yeah. Be careful for distorted information online and fake news, misleading information. Um, that's blocking clarity and dividing us, by the way, which is really fucking annoying. But you know, you got to get you got to learn how to read between the lines and the symbolisms, um we can start to realize that we only connect online, parrot other people's information, and kind of like perpetuating this digital idea of robots taking over and not realizing that if we're not challenging ourselves to stay connected in the physical, um you know, why wouldn't they want to put robots and take all of your opportunities or whatever you want to call them? I call them stepping stones. I don't think working is an opportunity. Um, I think they're stepping stones that'll allow you to get yourself into a position of real, true power and happiness for yourself. And so, once you let them do that, it might be even more harder to elevate after that. So really, we have to keep in mind to balance out these energies and, strategize when you're dealing with the devil, right? You have to know your opponent. You have to be able to play checkers, not chess, because you really could just be um, Again, we could just be repeating the past, not growing and evolving, and that comes with its own set of problems and stuff. So, being open-minded is going to be very important um to whatever's coming up for you at this time. You can't believe everything you hear online as well. And the government can be showing their power over media and how they control the narrative about what we hear, think, and see. Journalists, reporters are going to be exposing these things, and others are going to fall victim to it, unfortunately. We can hear more about air quality. Um, I know that there's been like a set of fires from Canada to that has trickled into New York, and I'm probably sure many other areas that again we're just not hearing about. And so there's going to be this, they love fear mongering, so have at it. Um, I can only imagine what they're gonna. I don't even care, to be honest with you. I'm so over these people, y'all. Like, fuck off. So that's just how I fucking feel right now. Anyways, Gemini is ruled by Mercury, and it will be in Gemini, adding more busyness, um, and more to do, and just doubly emphasizing the Gemini energy. Let's be very fucking clear. This is the Joker. Okay. When you add Neptune, Saturn, Pisces with all this Gemini energy, this person's not fucking well. Okay. They have mental issues. Okay. You guys remember the Joker? He was in a mental institution. That whole entire fucking movie was about him being in a mental institution, and he made up this whole everything that you've seen in that movie. Not fucking well. Like he's just not well. So really when we talk about deception, lies, and manipulation, and like this person's making up stories about you and your interaction with them, and they don't care about the facts. Okay, they're fucking certifiable. Okay, this person talks to themselves, makes shit up, um, may speak more from their emotions, which doesn't make anything facts, by the way. Your feelings do not qualify as facts. How you feel does not equate to a fact. Therefore, meaning I may or may not give a shit. I'm just saying, like, people are crazy. This could be I'm laughing because I'm trying to like not sound like a crazy person, but this can be, you can encounter some real psychopaths, all right? Pluto's back in Capricorn. And I'm not saying that it's interacting with that energy, but it's still in the same sky at the same time. And I don't fucking like it. So I'm telling my side of the story. And so these can be some real sickos, real power hungry people, people who are attached to you. It's toxicity, drama, you know. Um, just be careful, right? Be fucking careful. That's all I'm gonna say. Watch your back, triple check, and double check, and then check that shit again. These could be people who are on the autism super intelligent spectrum, you know. They can be loners, because they're super tuned in. These people are like, they have a direct line to the divine. They're on a radio station, a radio frequency that only is like that's only connected to the sky, right? So they know they're not alone. I'd be interested in seeing if anything else comes out about fucking aliens, even though Aquarius is not here anymore, still, I just feel deeply in my heart that, people might be a little off. Um, these people can be very artistic, um, and they might add some culture to their art. As a form of communication. This could be sign language, bilingual, or body language. All right. Remote viewing, um, because it has to do with travel. Um, and so it doesn't have to be actually physical travel either by plane nor car. This could be, remote viewing and Reiki and um being able to connect through energy, the fifth dimension. This is very, very, very Doctor Strange here. Okay. The mirror dimension, um, you know, stuff like that. Very, very sci-fi, Freaky Friday type of stuff. Okay. So, just, be mindful if you start thinking weird shit. You're not weird. It's a Gemini full moon, new moon. It's possible. Especially when you put Pisces here. I don't think they should mix us together and expect us to act sane. Like, that's insane, literally. I'm just being an ass now, but seriously, guys, tap into the weird side of yourselves. It's okay. Study and learn, get in tune, and have fun with it, Have faith and trust the process. Don't be in a rush, but don't be scared to act as well. Use your discernment. And I love and appreciate y'all. I hope you found this information helpful. Peace.